Hey!
Welcome back.
So at the end of our last episode, the mic fell and we thought it would be like fucking funny or whatever to end it there.
Decent enough stopping point through our 2-hour first episode. So here is part 2.
Yeah, hope you enjoy.
So like we get off the phone and then we're like, well, fuck, I guess we're just leaving our clothes here then.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna fucking sleep in jeans. You're gonna sleep in like your sweater and like shorts you've worn all day.
Yeah.
Like, so we drive over to like this motel that we got a room at, and then so we're talking to this guy, and there was like a positive turnaround with this guy. This guy was like, he ended up being a good guy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was late in the night, so I can see if he was irritated.
Yeah.
But
and
so
and I was just kind of honestly flustered and confused and irritated.
Yeah.
And tired. So fucking tired.
So tired. But also
like when we were sitting outside of Jing's house and I was on my phone booking this motel, like I just did it through like hotels.com or whatever.
Yeah.
And like it just auto-populated the date because it was already 1 a.m, so that would have been the 13th.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was I booked it for the 13th to check out the 14th. But then so when we got there,
oh jeez,
and I told him I made a reservation, he goes, okay, well, you made it for the wrong day because check-in isn't until 3 p.m. So what I should have done was made the reservation for the 12th going to the 13th. But
would it even let you do that? Like, thinking back on it now,
I don't know. I didn't try because I assumed that what I did was correct.
Yeah. Yeah,
because I don't know. I guess I didn't look into it enough or think hard enough. Because I was just honestly, like, I just wanted to go to bed.
Yeah.
I didn't read that deep into anything, so.
Literally. Like, so he's like, we have no clue what time he went to bed because, like, he was also there in the morning when we were talking to him the next day.
Man's just lives in the fucking office.
So we both like paid for like, so I had paid for like the 12th to the 13th, and then Kelsey paid for the 13th to the 14th, and so finally like we get to like sleep, but we go in our room and it's one bed.
Yep.
It's one bed.
And I was hard convinced that the reservation that I had made online was a room with 2 beds.
Yeah.
Because it said sleeps 2. And the picture had 2 beds in it.
Yeah, so
what am I supposed to think?
So we get there and we're like, okay, well at this point we're just gonna go to bed, and like, but we're both worked the fuck up because of everything that has transpired. Is just like, we were at this weird point where we had absolutely no energy, but we also like had enough energy to like
be upset.
Yeah, to be big mad. Like so Kelsey called her mom and like was like ranting to her, and then like I tried to call my mom and my mom didn't answer.
I mean, it was 2 a.m. I didn't think my mom was gonna answer.
She's like, oh, I was literally just about to call you.
Yeah, well, it was really weird because like most of the time when I do call her and it's late and she picks up and she's been sleeping, and like I can tell that I woke her up, she sounded like wide awake. So that was like a shock. But
like, Mom, did you get in my crack stash?
I'm not supposed to touch that. So like I like ranted to her about the whole thing, and I was like, wow, I really didn't think the first time I called you on this trip would be me. Like I thought I was gonna be telling you about all the cool shit, instead I'm telling you how our Airbnb like fucked us over.
Like literally fucked us in the ass.
Yeah, endlessly. But anyway.
So we go to bed, and then we had to check out at like 11, and like first I think just because of like the stress of the situation, we both woke up pretty early again.
Yeah.
And it was like, but I was able to like get back to sleep for a second and then wake up, but I think you definitely woke up before me.
Yeah, I don't know, I have trouble because like I don't know, it'll be like I'll wake up a couple of times and still be like out of it enough to just fall back to sleep pretty easily.
Yeah.
But after a while, like I'll wake up and like open my eyes a little too much and start to be like conscious again, and then I'm like, well, fuck, I can't go back to sleep now.
Yeah.
So I kind of just sat on my phone for a while. But yeah, so we ended up going because like the night that we checked into the motel, like he said, you know, I'll just switch it, you can pay for the room for tonight, and then you can cancel your reservation for tomorrow night. But then like when I went into my email with like the confirmation for the reservation that I had made online, like literally with their cancellation policy, I would have had to cancel the reservation earlier than I made it to not have a penalty. So like, but I mean, he told me that he would make sure to like waive like the cancellation fee or whatever, since I was gonna be paying for that night. Because we had to stay the second night. We didn't have anywhere else to go. And I was like, can I switch to the 2-bedroom or like the 2-bed room that I booked online for the second night? And he was like, you booked a 1-bed. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, check your reservation. And he like was kind of being sassy. And I was a little bit irritated. And I was like, you know what? I am going to check my confirmation because I don't think that's right. And I go into the email and then I scroll down a little bit and there it says 1 queen bed. I was like, what the fuck? The picture had 2 beds in it. It said sleeps 2. Like, what? Hello?
Yeah.
Like, so fucking misleading. But so he switched us to a 2-bed and it was only like an extra like $5 before tax.
Yeah. Which was like, when he said you're gonna have to pay the difference, I was like,
he goes, it's a price difference, and I was like, what's the price? Or like, what's the price difference? And he goes, it's 90 plus tax
versus 85 plus tax.
Yeah,
right, or 80
like,
plus tax.
Yeah, I was like, okay. And like, for me, like, I don't know. I just assumed that he meant that was the price and not like, that is what he meant. But for a second, we got paranoid.
Yeah, we were like,
wait, is he saying the difference is $90?
Yeah.
So 1 extra bed now suddenly cost me $175? Like, no.
It was so
But
fucking
no, it was-
crazy.
Yeah. So we switched it around and like stayed the second night and whatever. But
And I don't think I've ever slept that still in my life as I did that night. Like, I slept like arms crossed, laying down on my back, looking up at the ceiling. I woke up, arms fucking crossed, cold as fuck, like staring at the
we had
ceiling.
our AC in that room literally at like 60.
Like, we wake up and we're like, we're in fucking Antarctica right now. Like, this is a moving hotel.
Like that's just the temperature that it was at like when we got in there, and I just like didn't even adjust it 'cause it was fucking hot outside. So I was like, I'm good with this. 60's cool.
And like, so we wake up the next day and like we get ready and we've still got like an hour till checkout because I think we were ready and like to go by 10 definitely. So we had to go run and get our fucking stuff. And then my mom calls me and she's like, hey honey, did you call me last night? And I'm like, did I call you last night? She's like, I saw that you had texted me at 2 in the morning, and I was like worried, and I was like, oh, don't worry, like I'm safe. I almost said to her, we got fucked, and then I was like, probably a bad way to start that.
She's like, in what way?
By crack, Mom. So I explained the whole thing to my mom. My mom thinks it's fucking hilarious. And of course, like, we're laughing also.
Yeah, because like at that point, we've at least figured out what we're doing instead.
Yeah.
But like, God.
Like,
so ridiculous that we even had to like deal with any of this.
And we were literally, it's like we were going through stages like where we were just like laughing our asses off and then both just like super angry ranting. And then like,
fuck Jing.
Yeah, literally. Kill Jing. Like, restart computer or kill Jing. Like,
I was talking about the whole Bandersnatch episode of Black Mirror, like where you get to choose your own adventure or whatever, and it's like you get to a certain point and it's always like one option is like something else and the other option is always kill dad. And I was just like, oh, we've gotten to the point in the choose your own adventure where it's either find a motel or kill Jing.
Kill Jing.
So
yeah, I mean, luckily the motel thing ended up working really well. Like we got into like to have a 2-bedroom one, and so we went back and got our stuff. And Jing had messaged me back that morning, and she goes, "Oh," she said the same thing that I guess she said to us that first night.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, one of the other guests must have accidentally took the key."
And I'm like,
didn't you give the other guests the same as instructions as us?
Yeah.
Like, the same instructions as us. Like, didn't you give them the same shit? Like, like, literally, it just didn't, like, oh my God. So
it's like, we got locked out for the night. Like, you'd think she would be a little bit more like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Oh, sorry, somebody took the key. It's like, that's it?
Yeah.
That's it? Sorry's not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
See? Like, so,
you're grounded.
But then, like, we at least knew she was home then. So, like, we checked out the first morning at the motel of, like, the 1-bed. And, like, I told him, like, can we come back and check back into a 2-bed, like, later in the day? And because I asked him if we could switch to that, and he said, well, I can't right now because, like, there's somebody, like, in that room. And I was like, okay, like, are they checking out today, do you know? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, come check into it later? And he said yes. And so that's what we did. But
Yeah.
so then we went and got our stuff from Jing's house because then we at least knew she was home. And like, you know, we tried the lockbox again to see if she had put a key back in there, and she still fucking didn't.
There was no key in there.
But then the front door was just unlocked, so we just walked in, got all our stuff, showered. Dude, I took a long fucking shower because I was like, this is you owe me.
Yeah, me too. I was like, I'm gonna fucking enjoy this soft ass water while I can. I don't care that there's fucking spiders all around.
Dude, spiders everywhere, ants everywhere.
I don't care that the walls are made of bugs. Like
the towels were clean in that they had been washed before they got put back into that closet in our bedroom, but like, whose pubes are these?
Well, because I forgot to bring my towel in with me, so I was like, fuck. And so like then when you went in and took a shower, I was like, Kelsey, please! Like I was like, take this towel. And like so there was like one like folded clean towel that we hadn't used, and like I had brought my own towel, so then we got like all our shit, and I literally was like, I'm immediately putting my shit in the car. Like I was like I need it in the car. Like I like
we're going, we're out.
So we leave. Of course, I like sat on my box bed for a second.
Yeah.
And luckily I didn't have to interact with. Well, we interacted with that guy. That guy was there that morning.
Yeah, he was just like sitting on the couch, just like on his phone, like by the front door when we got in there. And then as we left, he was like cooking or something. You know, like
Yeah.
whatever. So we just left. Didn't lock the door behind us because we couldn't, because there wasn't a key.
Yeah. And like at this point, like we were just gonna like go get breakfast and then do California Adventure.
Yeah.
And we ended up like at like when we got to the park, I think it was like noon, right?
Yeah.
Like noon. And I guess
like I was kind of just angry that like Jing caused us to lose out on some park time yesterday because we were too busy trying to figure out where the fuck to go, and we had to go get our stuff and like whatever. But
yeah, especially because like
it still ended up being a really good day. It's just that was such an annoying like hiccup.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think the one thing I think it did, like literally the only thing that like fucked us up was Jing.
Yeah.
And like the motel thing worked out perfect because it was like literally the reservation was like an hour after the park closed.
Yeah.
And like I'm really glad that was the park we were going to. Like we didn't do it the other way around, you know, Disney or California and then Disney.
Yeah.
So that like yeah.
Because the guy at the motel, because originally when we had checked out that morning, I was like told him that we would come back around 3, like not really thinking, you know, because that's when check-in starts or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then like I was like, okay, well no, we're not gonna wait another 3 hours to go check in before we go to the park. So we just you know went. He called me while we were in line for Soarin', and I answered, and he like asked, you know, are you still coming back today? And I was like, yeah. So and I kind of lied because I was like, yeah, sorry, like our plans kind of got like messed up and like switched around a little bit for the day, so I'm not sure exactly when we're gonna be back there, but like we are coming tonight. And he was like, do you know like what time? And I was like, I don't know, I guess I would say like probably around 11, because like I knew the park closed at 10, and honestly I probably should have said 11:30 because we were pushing it a little bit, but we made it at like 11:01.
Literally, like, yeah.
And he goes, I like asked him, I was like, hey, how's it going? Because now we were in like a really good mood because we had a really fun day.
Yeah.
And like we were checking back in, and I was like, hey, how are you? How's it going? He's like, it's been busy. He was like, he told me that he turned away like 6 people because he was holding our room and like was telling them that it was sold out. And I was like, oh my god, like
thank you
so much.
When you
like it kind of made me feel bad because I felt like he was like flexing by telling us that he had to do that, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, oh shit, thank you.
When you didn't have to pay for room insurance, like
seriously.
So yeah, so he ended up being like a really cool guy, and like even like showed us to our room and stuff that night, and like showed us how, because the
parking lot was so fucking weird.
It was so weird.
But he like helped guide me into my parking spot, even. I was like, damn, this is some like
going that extra mile.
Yeah, thanks, Ricky.
We had like, was that his name?
Yeah.
Ricky? Oh, I didn't even realize. I feel so bad. I didn't even know what his name was.
Well, I think I only really knew that because he like, when he called me and I answered the phone, he said, hi, this is Ricky from the Aristocrat, and I was like, oh hey,
from the bra. And but so
the Aristocrat.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so he like showed us how to like, because our air conditioning box was like kind of like, if you didn't like put something on top of the curtain, it would like blow only to on front of the curtain.
Yeah.
So he showed us how to like put something there, and I ended up having like I brought my mom bought cinnamon rolls before we went on this trip, and I like brought one with in a container. I did end up eating half of it. I did end up. So there's still half for you, but it's been like
Yeah.
a few days,
I
like
know,
without
I
refrigeration.
I haven't even thought about it.
Yeah.
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, like, but so I just put like the cinnamon roll box and it worked perfectly. And so of course our room had perfect air conditioning and we woke up and it was like freezing. But when I say the sleep fucking slapped that night.
God. Yeah. This was last night now, so like
yeah.
God.
Like literally
So
the night before, even having a room that night before, I woke up fucking like screaming in the middle of the night.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
about that.
I was like, what the fuck am I scared of? Like, I knew I had like some fucking like crazy ass dream about like the worst possible scenario.
Yeah.
And then like,
It was like, you said it was like a worse version of like what we had actually just like gone through, right?
yeah.
God.
And so like, but oh my God, yeah, that was crazy. And then like going from that to like having that perfect sleep,
Yeah.
oh my God, it was like fucking sick.
Amazing.
And of course my sister calls me like at fucking like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey. And I'm like, fuck off. Like, I'm like, just kidding. Good morning. Like, I like, and so, yeah. And like, California Adventure was so fun. Like,
Yeah.
Kelsey had her first Disney drink. And
It was called the Be Brave, Be Blue. It was right by like there's like the big building that has like the Avengers symbol on it, and like this little stand had like a bunch of like alcoholic beverages. So I got it was a blue raspberry lemonade with vodka, and it was like they had little like star red, white, and blue like star sprinkles like floating in there, and it was like so freaking cute. It was good.
It was
But
really
like
good.
it was strong. Like I only drank half of it because I got to a certain point where every time I took a sip, I was like, oh, gonna vomit. Like, so I just was like, okay, this was delicious, but I have to go now. Like, but it was awesome.
it was
I was
so
like, wow,
fun.
I can do this now. My birthday was literally a week ago yesterday, so that shit was amazing.
it was so cool. And like, we even got to take a picture with like McQueen, which was fucking awesome. Couldn't find Mater wherever the fuck he was.
Yeah.
And I got to do, there were like a lot of rides in California Adventure that I had either never been on, or like didn't even know like fucking existed.
Yeah, same. I had passed by that aerial thing like a bunch of times, but
Yeah.
I never like I thought it was just because the building is so huge
Literally.
that I thought it was like one of those like shows, you know, like Fantasmic or whatever. But it
Exactly.
was like it was like a storybook type of ride. So we
Yeah.
went on that and it was cute, it was fun. There's a Monsters Inc. one too that I didn't know
Oh,
existed in
yeah.
that one. Oh man,
So good.
that's like one of my favorite movies ever. So like that made me so freaking happy. It was so cute, dude.
Literally. Like I definitely want to make sure like the next time I do go to Disney, like I make sure that like if I'm only gonna be there one day, I do the park hopper thing. Just that like now that I know those things exist, like
Yeah.
that Monsters Inc. one really was so cute.
Yeah.
Especially because I think Monsters Inc. it really is like one of those just fucking solid kids Disney movies.
It really is, yeah.
Like
so freaking precious.
I'm like, where's the Aristocats ride, bitch? No, I'm
Seriously, I love the
Yeah.
Aristocats.
Oh, but then we found there's fucking shops everywhere in Disney. Like
Yeah. Every 2 feet.
well,
It's like you can't walk 30 steps without finding a trash can. Well, you can't walk 15 steps without finding a gift shop, alright?
but you're gonna have to walk 2 miles to find the nearest restroom.
Yeah, where the fuck is the bathroom?
But we once we got off the Incredicoaster, there was this really fucking cute shop, like just full of like literally everything from every movie.
I loved it so much.
Like they even had a little up section, like, and that up section, I swear to God, up section. Why does that sound so fucking weird?
It sounds weird.
Up section.
The movie Up with Doug and Russell and Mr. Oh my God, what's his name?
Mr. Fuck, what is his name?
It's something with an R.
Mr. Mr. Ra. I don't know. Well, because the kid's name is the kid's name Russell.
Yeah.
I totally said his name was something else yesterday.
No, you didn't. You said Russell.
I did?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I thought I said his name was like fucking started with like a C.
No, it's Russell.
Huh. Well, okay. Then what's the? Yeah, I have no clue what the old guy's
I
name
feel
is.
so bad.
Me too. I know that his wife's name
It's Ellie.
Ellie. Yeah. Oh, they had this like cute like little puzzle in there that was like the two of them, and I was like, fuck, I'm not crying, you're crying, like
Definitely
like. But yeah, and they had like, I should have gotten that fucking hat. I'm glad I didn't though. But
Kevin's a girl.
I was like, what the fuck? Like, but then I was like, oh, Kevin's the bird. Yeah. So like they had like, but there were only like 2 shops that like really like stuck with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would definitely be the ones I went back to, because Stitch is definitely like by far my favorite Disney character. And they had like this shop that literally had all that cool purple shit.
Yeah.
And then had like a bunch of like Stitch stuff and then Baymax stuff.
Yes.
And I was like, frick yeah, Baymax representation. Like, oh, it was so cool. But like, also, Disneyland has nowhere to charge your fucking phone.
Yeah.
You can't charge your phone at Disney.
Or so we were told.
Unless you buy like a $30 portable charger.
Yeah.
But, so Space Mountain was one of the rides we were able to go on twice. And like, the ride was like, the ride was like, what, like 25 minutes at that late in the night? And then it didn't even be like 25 minutes.
No,
it didn't
not at all.
end up being. And once you get up onto that fucking platform where there's like all those ropes and stuff, and they were empty at this point in the night.
Yeah.
There's a fucking little like outlet there.
Yep.
And I was like, what? Okay, free charging? Question mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely a fucking crazy trip. What do you think your favorite part was of the trip?
I gotta say, those like surprise free fast passes.
Yeah,
That shit was amazing.
That
Especially
was
'cause, like, you know, then we got to go hunt on Big Thunder twice in a row, just right then and
for
there.
like free.
It was awesome. But also, like, I did really enjoy like getting to see the fireworks while we were up on the Ferris wheel. That was like really fucking like serene.
Yeah, and like the fact that the people like next to us too, like they saw my tattoo and they were like, "I saw a Billie Eilish tattoo," and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then we got to talk with them like about like Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
And they were from Seattle.
Yeah, they were there for their like graduation trip. Like they had just graduated high school, and I was like, "Oh my god, hi!"
Oh, gee, how's it
They were really
going?
nice.
Yeah.
It was like cool. Kind of. Sometimes you just like don't want to interact with people.
Yeah,
But,
literally.
like when you end up like sharing a seat with them and stuff.
Yeah.
But no, they were super cool.
Yeah, I think it is funny, like those people, and then the girl that I sat next to on the Goofy ride.
Yeah.
Those are like the only other people that I interacted with,
Yeah.
like in a positive fashion, other than like Disney employees.
Yeah.
Like on that like security check-in guard that first day
Dude, yeah, he
or
was
second day.
Yeah, he goes, I was wearing my Monsters University hat. He goes, "Hey, Monster, how you doing?" And I was like,
it was so sweet. Like, I'm doing
I'm so
good. And then there was like, he called me a Mouseketeer, and I was like, me?
I'm certified.
Just so fucking sweet. Yeah, I think the Fast Passes is probably really, I think going on either Radiator Springs was my favorite part.
Yeah, I wish that we would have gotten to go on the racers again, but
yeah.
it was closed by the time we got back over there later at night, and then like the park was gonna close soon, so we just
So we were like,
decided
bonk.
to go do some other stuff. But like,
Yeah.
we only went on it once, but we didn't have to wait in like the 75-minute line because
We did.
The last time I went, my brother and I literally just went in the single riders line like over and over and over again because you just fly through. And so that's what we did, and it was so we were both in the same car still. We were just in different rows.
Roads.
It's fine. And it was so fun. I love that ride. I love that ride so much.
That ride is so good.
It's so fun.
Especially like, I think that for me, I like, since like, because my little brother growing up, like his favorite movie was the Cars movies, and so like since I'm like so like close to him, you know what I'm saying, like that ride has like a special place in my heart because like I'm like, I love that he loves it.
Yeah.
And like, of course, like it's a good movie also.
Oh, really?
And like, so like seeing all that shit and like being in the movie, because there's like, I feel like there's no other place, I mean, other than the new Galaxyland. Oh
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
We went to fucking Galaxy's Edge. And
Yeah.
like, we didn't even know, like I thought it was still at that point where it was like super exclusive. You had to have like a reservation like months in advance to even be able to like go in and see
Literally.
it. But like we saw, like we ran, I don't know, how we got talking about it. It was like,
Got drinks.
yeah, yeah. We were at like one of those little like food cart things and like got drinks. And we were like saw somebody walk past with something. Oh, it was like those little boxes that like build your own droid thing. And we kept seeing those and we were like, what the fuck is that? It's like Star Wars Build-A-Bear. And as we were at this little like food cart, like somebody was walking past with one of those and you were like, hey, like where are those, like where are people getting those? And the person was like, oh, it's from Galaxy's Edge. And we were like, oh, is that like just open? And we were like, yeah. And we were like, oh, no shit.
Yeah.
So we went over and it was so cool. So freaking cool.
And you can walk right in.
Yeah, you just walk right in. It's behind, like, what is it, Critter Country?
Yeah. Like, I thought for sure that it was, like, a gate thing. Like, you're gonna have to go to, like, those, like, bars things. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And we get there. Tell them about the ride. Tell them about the ride.
Oh, dude. Okay, so it's, what is it called? It's like Millennium Falcon, like, Smuggler's Adventure or something.
Totally legitimate. Totally
legitimate. It's
Shipping.
A business. It's shipping.
company.
So we go up to it and we asked one of the guys, like, at the front of like, you know, when you first get into line for the ride, we asked him, we were like,
we had a fast pass.
Yeah, we still had a fast pass that we had, or we still had a couple that we hadn't used, and we asked him, like, are we able to use that for this, or, like, are you guys taking fast passes, or what? And he was like, well, right now, like, we're I don't know exactly what, like, the specifications were, but he said, like, they were kind of, like, limited in who they were letting, like, go on the ride and stuff.
Yeah.
They said kind of just, like, people with, like, small children and whatever.
Yeah,
And he
at
was like,
least.
well, but we were like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, how many people are in your party total? And we were like, oh, it's just us two. And he was like, okay, I'll cut you a deal. He goes, if you can, if you can bear through, like, me giving you a tour of Galaxy's Edge, then I'll let you on the ride. And we were like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean bear with you? Like,
literally.
I want you to do that.
Like,
it was awesome.
And it was so much bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
It was just kept going.
And he's like got this, like, shtick, like, the whole time.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know how, like, when you go to, like, the themed areas and stuff, like Jungle Cruise, everybody's supposed to, like, treat you, like, like, fucking sarcastically and, like, fucking shitty jokes that they hate telling, you know what I'm saying? And, like, so, like, and, like, he like, it was like he was a person that lived there, you know what I'm saying? Which was cool.
Because he kept saying, like, he would show us into, like, a gift shop and show us some of, like, the really, really, like, expensive stuff and be like, yeah, that goes for about 2,500 units or credits, yeah. And you were like, at one point, you're like, so how much is a credit? Is that the equivalent of a US dollar? And he was like, yeah, it's roughly whatever you guys use.
It's roughly whatever the fuck you spend.
Oh, word, okay.
And, like, we were in, like, one of, like, the bigger gift shops. And the cool thing is, like, we didn't even realize that we could go into some of these places.
Yeah, because of the way they were, like, automatic sliding doors, but they looked like metal, like, hatches, like you were on a fucking, like, spaceship or something. So we didn't know that they opened. And we just, like, so, like, he's, like, showing us where to go, and we're just, like, to me, I thought we were just walking up to a wall. And then it just opened, and we were like, oh, there's stuff in here.
Is this fully automatic? Because, like, in Disneyland, there's so many doors like that all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, and, like, fucking doors and rocks and stuff, and, like, just gate, like, doors, like, themed for the park that you're in, that you can't fucking go in.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go in. Like, all the doors are just open to the places
yeah,
that
like,
you can't
even,
go
like,
in.
walking through, like, the castle to get into Fantasyland, like, there's two, like, huge, like, ornate doors on either side, but it's just like, oh, like, cast members only.
Yeah, literally.
So,
like, seeing that was fucking crazy. And then, like, we're in one of the bigger stores, and I'm, like, talking to him, trying to, like, get him to break character a little bit. And he's like, have you ever, I'm like, have you ever heard of Star Wars?
yeah.
And he's like, people keep mentioning it to me, but I don't want to know too much about it.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you're not a politics guy? He's like, no.
We keep asking him, like, so who are you for? Are you for, like, the first Star? Because we don't know anything about fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, like, I've seen all of them, but I'm not knowledgeable.
Yeah, I'm not, like,
I enjoy the movies, but I'm not, like, I don't know about the lore and stuff, you know? I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, like, I know the big
Han
names.
Solo, what's up? Like, that's, you know.
I know
whatever.
the big names in Star Wars, like fucking Yoda. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And so he's, like, got, like, funny answers to everything. And we walked by those stormtroopers.
Oh, yeah.
The stormtroopers were so cool. Like, so cool.
I think their costumes, because you know how, like, okay, obviously Lightning McQueen, like, there's not a person in there, and so it just has, like, automated lines, but, like, it's still kind of, like, you know, it tailors its responses to, like, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, when we took our picture with him, like, the girl was like, hey, Lightning, they want to take a picture with you, is that okay? And what did he say? He was like,
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, like, something generic, but it was cute.
Can you imagine if he just went, fuck no?
Got a blast!
Yeah, and just runs over a fucking kid. Oh my god.
Fuck you, Jimmy! No, but I think that the stormtroopers like costumes were the same thing because it was like their responses were kind of like delayed. It seemed like, I don't know, maybe I'm just on crack, but like,
well, maybe it's like there is a person in there.
Yeah, there is a person in there, but I just think like I don't think they actually talk. I think like there was, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
When you said, "Can I take a picture with you?" the guy goes, "Let's go." And I was like, I think that kind of makes sense.
And like he's like doing all these poses and stuff. And this guy like it was really fucking awkward. That guy was like, he's like talking about how he likes his lightsaber or something. The stormtrooper was, and he goes, he's like, this fucking cheesy guy. He's like, it's for killing like droids or something.
Troopers. And I was like,
and he goes, I've got my eye on you. Like, and I was like, fuck, you're gonna regret that one 10 years from now.
Hey buddy, you're gonna die.
Well, just like for me, like if I was that stormtrooper and it wasn't like an automated line,
yeah.
Just thinking back on that moment 10 years from now, I'd be like, fuck, that was so cringy. Why did I say that? Like,
I've got my eye on you. Wink.
Meow. Like,
hey, a stormtrooper's trying to slide in my DMs.
I'm like, damn, that stormtrooper's dummy thick.
Dummy thick.
But those costumes were so freaking cool.
Yeah, they really were.
And then,
so we're on our little tour with Jacob and Galaxy's Edge, and we walked back past that area where the stormtroopers had been, and there was like a huge group of people just like standing there, like looking around, and he was like, I don't know what. He's like, nothing happens over here. He's like, this isn't a joke. Like, I don't know what these people are waiting for.
Because at first we're like, you don't know. Wink, wink. And then he's like,
act like nothing happened, but something happened. He's like, no, I'm serious. I have no idea what.
We're both like, oh, fuck.
Okay. Y'all already had some. See you later. Peace out.
And then he gave you what, like a little lanyard thing?
That's just like they do that on a few rides. It's just like to get like wait times or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they hand you like that little like red card, and so like it's when you first get into the line they hand you that, because I noticed some people had them when we were in line for Soarin' too.
Yeah.
And so then it's like once you get up to like whoever the next like cast member is, you hand it off to them, and then
it's like a time system.
Yeah.
Like to tell you how time works. How to tell time.
But yeah, so we went on the smuggler's ride, and like they give you like a card that tells you like what role you are. So we both ended up being pilots, and that shit was like so stressful. Literally, there was so much pressure.
And we were making jokes like beforehand.
Yeah.
Because like every ride that we had been on that had like a steering wheel, Kelsey had been the driver.
Yeah, like Indiana Jones, I was like, I got this. Just get us to safety. Like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Like, that thing just spins endlessly, and obviously it doesn't actually control anything.
And then we get to this one, and we're both like, "Oh, don't worry, like Kelsey's already like."
And then we had to actually fucking control the ship.
Literally, like, okay, fuck. If you haven't been on this ride's fucking crazy.
It's so cool, but
so
oh
cool.
my god, I was so stressed out because like so it was us two were pilots, the next row behind us were gunners, and then the row in the back they were both engineers, and like the whole like goal of the thing was to like intercept like some piece of cargo from from the First Order, from the Resistance or something, because I don't know my Star Wars shit.
Me
but
neither.
But oh my god, it was so hard.
It was so, because here's the thing, we didn't both have like both directional like things, like we both directions. we didn't have control over all the directions basically.
Yeah, I was left and right, and you were up and down. Up and down.
Yeah.
I was like
and it was like, it was weird because like sometimes it would talk to you, sometimes they would talk to you.
Yeah,
like
because I had at one point it goes, left pilot, the brakes, and I was like, what, where
are the brakes?
I was like, oh my god, and we just like crashed.
Because the panel in front of us,
there's like buttons everywhere,
and they're like glowing, and like there's like these fucking levers, like it was like right pilot, blast into hyperspace.
Yeah,
and I was like,
you got to fucking control light speed. That shit was dope.
I know, I was like literally.
And
it's like press the green button, da 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 da, and you're like, what the fuck? And like it was just crazy because it's like it was almost like it moved so fast.
Yeah.
Like you push it in one direction, it goes that way.
Yeah.
But we weren't expecting to actually control it. And so like the whole time it's like just Kelsey and I really just going like left, right,
Yeah,
left, right.
struggling. So, well, because I was trying to like center us, but every time I tried to adjust, it went all the way to the left and then all the way back to the right. And I was like, God, I'm so sorry.
Because you put it in the middle and it just stops.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't go anywhere. So you have to like keep like a balance.
I was not doing well, and I felt so bad because like the whole thing was you were supposed to try and get it centered behind like that cargo so that your fucking so that your engineers could like grapple onto it and like get it. And I was just not. I couldn't. I feel like if we were to go on it again, like I would have a better understanding for like what
They put us in different spots.
how the
like
controls feel and like what. Yeah, I know. And then we're just gonna be gunners. Honestly, though, I feel like we had the hardest like.
it was crazy.
Like
it
not
was
to, like,
fucking
flex
crazy.
or whatever, but like that shit was difficult. And like
It was so funny too, because like both the game rides that we went on,
yeah.
both of them like stopped us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, or wait, did the Toy Story one stop?
Not until like the very end, and it was like after
Yeah.
we had already gotten like the last like or like
So
our
we're, like,
final score or whatever, and
yeah.
there was just a bunch of targets that said 0. But yeah,
Yeah.
when we were on Astro Blast, it was like
when we were on
when we were on ass blasters,
when we were on blast that ass.
blast that ass in the surf.
But what did it fucking like stopped, and so Kelsey and I and like literally everybody in this fucking room, we're just going pew pew pew
Yeah.
like
Hitting targets over and over and over, just racking up the
like
points.
in that same spot.
That was the highest score I've ever gotten on Astro Blasters, and it was like not even real, but it's fine.
Like, you see that fucking thing where it's like the highest person who scored that round?
Yeah. How? Somebody got like 250,000 points.
I know,
And
I'm
I
like-
literally had like 30.
I was like pushing for 30,000. I think I
Yeah.
had like 15. Like
Yeah.
I like like oh my god.
And
And
I have no idea how the fuck they did that.
that ride was fucking fun though.
It was.
I did like the game rides.
Dude,
but
the Midway
pool
Media one though, like, cause you like, it's like you're pulling like a,
Yeah.
you're like pulling
The little-
back the thing to like shoot at the screen, and I'm just like,
And my arms getting tired the whole
my fucking arm was
time.
exhausted. Like we got to the very end of the very like last screen, and I was like, oh my god.
They're like, keep going, and you're
I can't.
you're like, please no guys, stop.
It hurts. It hurts.
Oh my god.
We really racked up them points though. Boy.
Yeah, that one didn't like fuck me up as bad as Star Tours did though. I mean,
No.
towards the end though, I like
Yeah,
that little like
because-
bumpy part at the end
Yeah.
where it's like womp womp, like
They're just like, go this way, sharp left, sharp right. You're like, oh my god, okay.
yeah.
But
One that I didn't even know Goofy's flight school existed.
yeah, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
It's a little bit herky jerky,
Herky jerky.
but there are a couple parts where it's like, oh, whoa, a big like dip.
My
I like
ear,
those.
did your ears just pop?
Yeah.
Mine
a lot.
mine just went back to normal for like 30 seconds. They were at that point where it's like
Yeah.
radio, like
Ooh.
fucking.
Yeah, just felt another one.
Oh fuck. Is it true that you can wear like, is it like earbuds like fucking helps with that or something?
I don't know if they
Is that
do.
true or is that probably a fucking placebo?
Yeah, probably. Because I don't know. I feel like I've had earbuds in on these rides before when I'm not the one driving, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't think it helps.
I would definitely like to go like you were saying, like I would definitely like to go to just like straight up like LA for like
Yeah.
a few days just to
Yeah,
like check it
there's
out.
so much to see.
Literally. Like especially
But
because
where the fuck do you park?
literally, oh my god.
Like, the move is like bring your bikes. and
Yeah.
just
And just bike wherever you
drive
need to
to your hotel or whatever, and then just bike everywhere else. Like you're gonna be tired as shit.
be. Literally. Like you're gonna
But there's
but-
nowhere to park.
yeah. Even like when we went up to the Hollywood sign, like I would honestly say just hiking up it would probably be the best move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
It would
saying?
be exhausting, but you don't have to park
But
on an insane incline.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we were, oh my god, so the hill where like the Griffith Observatory is, where you can see the Hollywood sign, the venue for Billie Eilish was on that same hill.
Yeah.
And so like while we were on our way up to it, like literally like, because it was just like crawling stop and go traffic because everybody's trying to fucking get up there.
Literally.
My car stalled because we were
Oh.
sitting there on the hill, and I was just like with my foot on the brakes waiting to start moving again, and my
Yeah.
car just like stopped making noise, and I took my foot off the brake for a second, and I started going backwards. I was like, oh fuck, and I like,
Hey,
put my foot back
literally.
on the brake, and I was like, and I just because I was like panicking, I like rolled down my window because one of the guys that was like selling t-shirts was like standing right there, and I was like, I think my engine just died, and he just like laughed, and I was like, and I was panicking so much, I could figure out my thoughts, and you were like, just like turn it off and try and like turn it back on again. So I parked and I like turned off my car, and then I turned it back on, and then we were fine. And I was like, okay.
I just knew from experience when I was learning to drive, because manual cars stall all the time, like just because it has a clutch. Like even sometimes, like I rarely do this because I hate the fucking jerk it makes.
Yeah.
But like when I'm like parked, like sometimes if I want to just keep it in first, because you keep it in first and then put the e-brake on is how it goes. But you usually want to turn off the ignition before you take your foot off the clutch. Because otherwise it like jerks and stalls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it stalls all the time when you're in a fucking manual car. So I was like, oh yeah, I know how to fix this. Like it's just
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because your bitch was panicking.
Well, because like
Panicking.
panicking Bapkins.
Using way too many napkins.
Bapkins.
Napkins and chapstick. When I'm in the Porsche, the floorboards.
I can't believe like we had literally been talking about that song, and then that song came on, and I was like, "What song is this?" Like,
I know. You're like, oh, that's Crystalia. That's my boy.
Who's this rapper? Like, he sounds kind of familiar. Oh, that's Kendrick Lamar. Oh, fuck.
Oh, right. Yeah, I knew that. I was just asking you.
But oh my gosh, when we were going and seeing Pump, and then what was the name of the
Sir?
Okay, Sir.
I don't know whether they came up with the name Sir first, or because on the show, like there's like a wall in there where it's like an acrostic and it says "sexy unique restaurant," and I'm like, oh, that's a little bit cringy. That's kind of fucking cringy. Because like I mean, and they also call it like Sir Restaurant, so it's like sexy unique restaurant. Like I don't know about that, but yeah. So we went and saw like all of like at least the ones that you see like on the show.
Yeah.
Like we went and saw all those. It was like Villa Blanca. Which actually I don't think we saw that one, but I finally remembered what the fuck it was called.
Yeah, because you were talking about.
I kept being like Villa Rosa. No, that's where she lives. That's where Lisa fucking lives. And then I was like, whatever. So we saw Sir and Pump and Tom Tom, and I was so goddamn happy.
It was so cool.
I day made like
even not like knowing any of that stuff. It was still so cool.
Yeah.
Like
this is. I mean, they're like filming a season right now. Like they weren't there, I don't think.
But they, like it's the whole air of it. I think.
Yeah.
It's like just like that's like big shit happens there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because like, and when we were getting to like we were driving to Sir, and like before it took us around like to where the front is, like we were behind it, and I was like, like I recognized the back parking lot because people fucking fight there all the time on the show, and it's like, why are you killing me? It's so fucking ridiculous. But I was like, oh my god, it's right there. That's the back.
Like, like OMG. Wait, what's the name of the television network?
It's on Bravo.
On Bravo.
Yeah.
Fucking exclamation
I'm
point,
still
Bravo.
waiting for them to put season 7 on Hulu because I
You know what I used to watch simply for the drama? Well, simply for like, because I feel like sometimes like when I watch shit like that, I'm like, fuck yeah, like this is what I need. Like we were kind of talking about that, like how like sometimes you just want to watch something kind of dramatic.
Yeah.
Not for the sake of like you're like, oh my god, that's crazy, but for the sake of like
just because it's entertaining. I like watching people argue.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of funny, especially when like people are like, especially when you get like two people like Kim Kardashian and then like like just the Kardashians and the Jenners in general. Like I mean like not to like bash them or anything, but if you go back, because my sister and I like to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Yeah.
It's on Hulu, it's free, like it's funny to watch, especially because they're so fucking rich and like the arguments that they have. It's like I'm so broke I could never fathom that argument.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I live a lower fucking middle ass life. Like you know what I'm saying? Like so just watching shit like that is so entertaining.
Where the fuck did you put my Gucci slides, Kendall?
I just this is my car. This is my Bentley. Like I'm none of you are happy for me. Like it's
okay.
Just
then.
a day in the life. Like
must be fucking nice to have problems like that.
Literally. Like it's just so crazy to think like everybody big lives in LA.
Yeah.
That's like the thing.
Yeah.
Like that's just fucking crazy to me because like nobody famous lives in Arizona.
No.
Nobody famous.
Except for like Alice Cooper, but who cares?
Yeah. Like
no offense.
Wait, who's Alice Cooper?
I don't know, some like former like rock dude.
Oh.
Something.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think the only thing that we didn't get to that like we wanted to get to was like the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
But even that, it's like
I didn't even know like where it was, like, in comparison to where we were, and then like everything took so long, so we were just trying to figure out where to park.
And the traffic is crazy.
It's so bad.
So crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and only even on the highways. Like, I mean, like, just like it'll be weird. Like the second that you leave like a big like bustling place, like the traffic is just crazy for like 20 minutes, and then after that it's like free flowing.
Yeah.
And like
it took forever for me to actually. I mean, on our way back to the motel last night from California Adventure, like we had to have been on the freeway for at least like 20 minutes before we actually got past like 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Like at all.
And we're like pushing it like it's like
like my phone's like arrival 11:03. I'm like, shit, he's gonna give away our room.
like there's probably somebody in our room right now. Like it's like yeah, but definitely like I think we talked about Charlie Sheen, right?
Oh no, I don't think we did.
I don't think we did, because I have never, until this trip, I have never seen, well, I mean, obviously I've been to concerts or whatever, I've never been this close to a famous person in my life.
Yeah.
So
and Charlie Sheen at that,
literally
so goddamn famous.
So famous. Like famous to the point where he can just probably, I mean, I don't know much about like how much you make for a cameo. He can probably just make cameos in movies for the rest of his life. Like, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's fucking retired, I think.
Yeah.
Like, Tiger's fucking blood, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, so we're leaving the venue. Also, like, fuck when people are ruining concerts. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that was so fucking dumb. But anyways, like, okay, actually, I'm gonna go into that a little bit. Like,
yeah, do it.
When people,
it's worth it.
When you're at a concert and people aren't going apeshit, and they're like kind of making fun of you for going apeshit.
Yeah.
Or like, I guess like at least like talking shit about you going apeshit. Fuck that.
Yeah. Like, why are you here then?
Yeah. Are you not here to like go fucking crazy? Because Billie Eilish started off her show with Bad Guy, and that song's a fucking bop.
It's a banger, dude.
And like she's got all these crazy lights going, and it's like, yeah, you know, like it's like so fucking good.
She's jumping around and stuff.
And despite her broken fucking leg,
with her one leg.
And it was just like so fucking cool. And like she even had this part where like she had us all like get down really low. Like I think it was in Copycat. And so like then she had us like all go like jump up on Psych or whatever.
Yeah.
And like fuck, that shit was so lit. Like that rocked my shit.
Yeah.
And so like, and literally is this, I could just hear this girl behind me just being like she's like, really, you gonna fucking, and like I was like,
yes,
like,
I am.
Yes, I am. I'm fucking here. This is the best experience of my entire life.
I love this bitch.
Literally. We were talking to those girls from Seattle when we were on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Said their tickets were $70.
Yeah, because they got them like right away. Like as soon as they went on sale. We waited because we were trying to figure out if we could even go on this trip.
Yeah.
Because when we requested off the time for work, like my manager, she texted me at least and was like, hey, I have like 10 other requests in the system for this weekend, so like I saw yours and I'm gonna try and give you as much of it off as I can, but like I'm gonna like deny the request. So like we were just like, we still had to figure out getting shifts covered, you know, and that was like 2 weeks before we were gonna be leaving.
Yeah.
So like we didn't buy our tickets until like
the week before.
Yeah.
Or
so
like
they were really fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Like,
ours came out to like with like, because we bought them through SeatGeek.
Yeah.
Which speaking of that, let's take a quick break to say hello.
Use code Jing's Palace.
Use code fucking crackheads. Crackheads. Yeah, so like we bought them and they were like, God, how much were they? They were like,
after like the service fees and stuff that I don't know what the fuck those are even for, it was like $490 a piece.
It was so crazy.
So
like looking at like
that was like
ouchie.
when I got like the next paycheck after we bought those, it was like my paycheck was like $440.
Yeah,
I was like, God.
I know. I was like, because here's the thing, like I had
Starbucks budget.
I had like money that I had saved up, like cash, like from dog sitting, and then from like my tips, and then like little like odd jobs that I do every now and then. And so like that was like the money that I brought with me for like the concert. And so like I had money for like to get something for dinner and like gas and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then like I knew I was gonna be like pulling it pretty close because the concert was the day before we got paid.
Yeah.
And so then when my paycheck came in, I was like,
Fuck yeah.
Ooh, I was like, fuck yeah, ready for fucking Disney. And of course, I waited to get my tickets until like the day before. Like, my tickets for Disney, that is. The day, like literally the morning of.
Yeah.
And like, it was funny because with the concert tickets too, like I hadn't gotten an email about anything. Like, so I had to like call them to like get our tickets.
I kind of forgot about that. That's like so weird. Like, how are you gonna charge me like a $50
Almost
service
a grand.
fee?
Like,
You're gonna charge me a $50 service fee just to not send me an email right away?
yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, like
What?
in the SeatGeek app, it was like order confirmed, and I was like, sweet.
Sounds fake, but okay. Like, prove
like,
it.
Just a little
me that
cherry on
email,
top. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, fuck. And then, because I had been like, don't get me wrong, I had been looking like every single day up until then, so I knew I hadn't gotten anything.
Yeah.
Like, I never check my email that frequently.
Yeah.
And so I knew I didn't get anything. And then like, so literally day of the concert, I'm like calling, and luckily like we got it all fixed.
Yeah.
And we had a ton of time because the concert was at night, as most concerts are. But yeah, so trip as a whole, 10 out of 10 during the days.
Yeah. Night times, a solid 3.
Solid 3 out of 10.
Like,
And the 3 is just that one last night's sleep that we got.
yeah,
Like
that was excellent.
that was crack sleep.
Yeah.
That was crack sleep.
That solid 3, just about as solid as the fucking box spring we slept on.
Just fucking when you sit down,
Like GT Dave's couch.
Just fuck, I can't move this chair. Oh man. Well, I think as far as podcasts go, that's pretty fucking solid. I mean, that's holy shit, that's like 2 hours. And
That's 2 hours?
I can't believe we've been talking for 2 hours. Oh my god.
Son. Okay, well.
Okay. Well, peace the fuck out. I hope we have some fucking like crack ass dates.
Yeah. And if you ever need to book an Airbnb in Roland Heights, California, don't book Jing.
Don't book Jing. Also, maybe just not Roland Heights. Maybe just not Roland Heights.
Probably not.